This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 7th year. Talk like you've never heard it before.
It's Tuesday. Hello, everybody. This is Alex, and this is the Ramble. We go until midnight tonight from the East Coast of the United States. From New York, New York. The city's so nice. Yeah, they named it twice. And if you hear, I don't know if you hear I always mention this. I hope you don't hear our air conditioner, but boy, do we need it today. Oh, God, do we need it today. It's so hot. How hot is it? So hot. I saw a squirrel in Central Park washing his nuts. Thank you. Bodum. I think Letterman used to do all those squirrel jokes, so I thought I'd throw one in there. Because every squirrel joke ended with something about nuts, okay? Well, it's Tuesday, and on Tuesday, it's the law. I have to talk to, I better put him on here. I have to talk to Phil Meyer. If I don't, I lose some kind of deal, some kind of prize or whatever at the end of my life. So here he is, ladies and gentlemen. There he is. How are you, Phil?
Hey, happy Tuesday.
Yeah. Turn up your mic a little bit. Turn up your mic.
Sure.
Yeah.
I haven't switched over to the other. Is that okay? Or
Turn it up just a little bit more. A little bit more. Yeah.
All right. There you go.
Yeah.
No?
It's okay. It's okay. I can live with it.
Or yeah. How's that?
Okay. It'd be nice if it were louder, but it isn't. So if you can do it, I might be able to do it here.
Yeah. Okay. Try that.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Because I did turn down my audio here today.
I tested it a little bit earlier and it sounded fine. But
Yeah.
Am I overmodulating now?
No, you're not overmodulating at all. I just had to bring you up here.
Okay. I was thinking I don't need GabNet. I just got a letter from the Publishers Clearinghouse.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That says I am guaranteed to be a finalist and, to win money for life. Guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, all I got to do is send in for these subscriptions. And,
wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I don't need to work. I don't need GabNet. All the money I get from GabNet, you can keep it.
Yeah, the GabNet bucks. You don't need the GabNet bucks. We have GabNet bucks. Anyway, I'm trying to get everything here. For some reason, you're really low tonight, and even though I brought you up here on this end, it isn't exactly working right.
I don't know why that would be. Oh, because that was the base. This is the level. How's that?
Well, it's still not, just still not good.
All right. Well, I guess the thing sucks. I've got my new personas, but I've got to sit down and have them they've got to program it.
Well, you know something? Why don't you get yourself something simple? Why do you have to get a personas? They're not that great anyway.
No, well, it looks nice, but
I know it looks nice, but they suckered you.
Simple.
How much do the personas cost you?
$1,100. Okay, look, there's the personas. All right.
That's more than you'll ever need.
Yeah, that's true. But, and there is the whatever that thing is, the mixer with the tube, and that one isn't giving me the volume. Maybe it's seen better days. Maybe it's seen better days. I was going to take it to the office for Zoom meetings.
Yeah, you might want to move your camera over because it's going along the edge of your green screen. There you go.
It's going along the edge of the green screen. When they upgraded from like High Sierra to whatever I've got now, the Logitech camera lost its software. and it didn't work on the newer thing. And I've tried to download software for a while, and I could never really find it. I don't think Logitech likes Macintosh or Apple.
Why? I'm using everything I've got here is the Logitech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
The Logitech, two Logitech, what do they call them? BIOS. BIOS?
Yeah. This is a 920. It's an older one. I bought it about 5 years ago.
Yeah. Well, it's a good camera. Looks fine. You know.
Yeah. I just don't have any control.
Yeah. So do I look sweaty?
No, but what is it? What's it raining or what's the temperature?
No, it isn't a matter of the temperature. It's hot as hell. So now just before the show, about 20 minutes before the show, I go in to get my sodas from the soda thing, or little, and for some reason it's just leaking like crazy. I guess somehow it lost some of its cooling ability. I turned the cooling back on, so I know it's working now. But water, just tons of water all over the place. So I had to empty out the whole thing, clean it out, wash it out, get rid of all the wetness inside the goddamn thing. Okay.
This is the refrigerator.
Not the refrigerator, but one of those, like you have in a hotel. One of those
little icebox, little
refrigerator. I think we got to get a new one. That thing is falling apart. But anyway, so we got the damn thing, and I had to like mop up everything, and I had to take all the sodas out. I was doing this, and I had to do it before the show started, right? And I'm pulling it out and I'm pushing it in, and I'm sweating like a dog when I get in here, because that part of the house we don't air condition.
Yeah.
What we do is we close this big swinging door we have that goes into our hallway, and then we turn on the air conditioning in the office, and we turn on the air conditioning in the bedroom, and it kind of cools the whole back area here.
Yeah.
So, but out there we don't cool it. And we do have air conditioners, but even if we turn them on, it's a huge area of the living room and so on.
Yeah.
So,
no, I understand. I'm in an apartment that has an air conditioner in the living room, but not in any of the other rooms.
Yeah.
And they put new windows in about 2 years ago. So as soon as they put windows in that opened, I bought an air conditioner and stuck it in the window of the master bedroom. Well, as soon as I put it in, within 2 days, I had a letter that said if I don't get it out of there, they're going to evict me.
Oh, right.
So they don't want anything, out the windows, no political nothing.
Oh, really? Fuck them.
Yeah.
I mean, do they have air conditioning in the apartment?
Just the living room.
Just the living room, but not the bedroom.
Right. So I have that swamp cooler that I bought for this office.
You should probably go to the city and complain about this, because you should be able to put in an air conditioner if they don't supply air conditioning to the bedroom.
Yeah, they don't. So I could say it's an ADA thing, but they'll just tell me to move. So a friend of mine's building 8 houses, and I committed for one of them, and it'll have central air. It'll a garage, 2-car garage, the whole thing, and the top floor has 2 master suites, so I'll have a studio in there, and I can do my photography and all of that stuff. But then the only thing I worry about is, am I going to qualify for the thing? Because now to get a loan for $800,000, $900,000, you need to make $250,000 a year.
Wow.
And I don't make that, so I make half of that.
Yeah.
So the only so I'm saying to myself, Jesus Christ, am I gonna qualify for the thing? I can't put 50% down. Spent that money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I got to get into a house and not be involved with apartments and parking stalls.
Well, didn't you have a house or something? Didn't you move out of something into that hovel?
Yeah. Well, I sold the house in 2015. I had it was on 5 floors, and I had 67 stairs from the street to my master bedroom. And at the time, it was before I was going to a Rolfer, and my calves were so tight that I couldn't walk up the stairs. And now I wish I still had the house, but because I loved
My
it.
calves were tight too, but I really didn't try to have sex with them. So
It was the sheep.
they would have mooed a lot, you know.
Yeah.
I prefer calves over
Hey, I
sheep.
thought yours was would go bah, bah.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So anyway, so and then I did this whole thing with my RAID, in which I upgraded all my drives to 8
Did you
terabytes.
get your last? I heard you.
Yeah,
said
I got
you
the last one. I put it in, and then today I had to expand everything, and I couldn't figure out how to do it. But I did expand all the drives so that they show up as more. But it's still the RAID volume that I am doing something with. It's upgrading it now, but it takes about 12 hours. So.
Yeah, so it's rebuilding the drives.
No, the drives have already been rebuilt.
So you put in one at a time.
What it's doing is there's this volume. I don't understand this shit. There's this volume. Okay, I have the drives, and then I have the drives, and then I have the volumes, which is the kind of the array, the RAID. Okay, so I had to redo that, and hopefully when it's through, which is going to be within an hour or so, it will show up as reading all the drives and so on. But all the drives are coming up as having more. I have about over 21 terabytes of space. But I did that, and then what else did I do? That was about it.
Well, you have a lot more space, but you're using some as backup. Right.
What do you mean? I have a lot more space.
Well,
no. A lot of some of that space goes to redundancy.
Right. Exactly. What I'm saying, backup redundancy.
Yeah. No. I mean, I have about 32. I have 32 terabytes now of stuff in there. Or maybe not that, but 28, something like that.
Yeah. Because now I know that people don't care about this, but I've got 8 terabytes.
See, nobody knows what we're talking about, so we really shouldn't even do it.
But the thing is I went to RAID 6, which meant that I've only got about 24 terabytes left that aren't redundant.
Yeah, see, I'm not doing RAID 6 because I don't expect more than one drive to go bad on me at a time anyway. So.
Yeah. Well, it's a beautiful thing because they say drives will go bad.
And the fact of the matter is that. These things ensure that you don't lose anything,
Right.
And if you do RAID 5, if you lose more than one drive at a time, but how many times have you blown 2 drives at the same time?
I've never lost a drive.
Yeah, I did when I first put in this RAID. I lost 3 of them. Apparently, the enterprise drives that I bought were bad. But nevertheless. I bought Reds, and then Joe Burrows told me that Reds are for a NAS, not for a what I have, which is just storage. Yeah. Oh. Well, I have I got this thing Exos, Seagate Exos.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're for they're for NASs as well. So I'm happy. Hopefully it'll work. If it doesn't. Fuck it. I don't care.
I remember back in the late 80s, my accountant bought a 1 gigabyte drive. And I don't remember how many thousands.
I'll tell you, my first hard drives I ever bought, I put into a IBM computer that I had, the original IBM PCs. Okay. And up until then, I had 2 floppy disk drives, big 5.5-inch disks.
Me too.
And I went out and I bought my first hard drive, and it went in there, and I was living large because it had 20 megabytes of storage.
That was big.
Yeah, it was huge.
What year was that? Do you remember?
Oh God. When I first went to work back in San Francisco, I believe.
No, when you were in Sausalito, you had an Atari.
I had an Atari, but then we bought these PCs.
Yeah.
See, because my business manager knew a guy who was selling these PCs.
You must have moved to San Francisco.
And he got us a deal on 2 of them. I think we paid $3,000 a piece for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that must have been when you moved to the marina.
Yeah.
But
it was the marina. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's amazing what memory used to cost back then and what it costs today.
Well, what memory on hard drives used to cost.
Right.
Memory itself, you couldn't get more than what 500. What was 620K?
640K. You're right.
640K. Yeah, 640K. And then they figured out a way that they could add more memory, and so you could leapfrog that. I don't want to explain to people, but there was this gap. But today, when you buy a machine, I mean, the memory they've got is, you know.
Well, and also back in the day, you can only see 80 characters on your green screen. And that wasn't the green screen for the for the video. That was just a little thing. Remember, it was 80 characters.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah.
I think
well, that was the Atari. They only had 80 characters across the screen.
Well, I had a Moro MD3.
Yeah.
That was around the same time as K Pro and some of the other early.
Yeah, you know, this probably is boring the shit out of people.
Who cares?
Yeah, who cares? It's my show.
They're not listening anyway.
I don't care. You know, but yeah, it is in fact.
You have 26.
I have 26 people watching. Big deal. Yeah. Remember when I used to have thousands?
Yeah. And hey, you know, you'll have thousands again. You know, you just all you got to do is stand. You know, somebody had posted that homeless people yelling and screaming must know something that we don't know.
I mean, the ones that walk down the street and they're yelling at somebody that doesn't exist.
Maybe they're the only sane ones out there.
I think my friend Dana Gould used to have a bit he did about, you ever see these guys walking down the street? They're going, you think you're a sailor? I'm not a sailor. You're a sailor. Yeah. and you don't know what they're doing or who they're talking to, but maybe there's somebody like 100 miles away who's responding to what he's saying. Well, I am a sailor.
The early Bluetooth earpiece.
Yeah.
You know, because now people walk around.
Now when you walk down the street, everybody's talking to themselves. The crazy people have to find something else to do with themselves.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how was your week?
Well, there was something good that happened this weekend, but I can't talk about it till next Tuesday. What is it? A week from Tuesday. A week from next Tuesday. So
good. I'm happy that good things have happened.
I'll talk about it then, but I can't yet.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
Let's see what else is going on. I'm going for cigars Friday night with one of your listeners,
Brian.
Brian? And not Brian. I could ask Brian, but he's usually not.
Well, you didn't ask me.
Well, come on out.
You know something? I hate cigars.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I hate being around them.
Yeah,
they're really annoying.
It's a male bonding thing.
But I don't think it is. I never male bonded with,
Yeah.
And
now look at you.
Well, what was the only male bonding I did? I think Guy and some other guy had sex with the same woman, but
yeah. Well, you shared a joint.
Look at this. This bothers me. I can't. Why? I looked at this tonight just before I went on. I was going to go change my shirt, but I didn't have time. I'm getting. You ever see those ads for the guy? Oh, you've got some droopy collar, something like that, right?
Yeah.
And so you've got to use a certain detergent or something to make it.
Yeah, make it tighter.
Tighter.
That or buy a shirt. You can't. You don't pull on it, and it won't droop.
But it was tight yesterday. At least that's what she said. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, let's see what else is going on. Trump.
I knew you couldn't go. Half hour without mentioning Trump.
Yeah. Well, he's down at the border.
Why? Why?
Well,
why is he planning on doing anything down there? What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
He's looking for property to put a hotel.
Yeah, right.
There's a lot of migrants coming across the border now.
Yeah.
And
they need a place to stay, right?
And the government will pay to put them up.
Yeah, so build a hotel.
Right.
Yeah.
And so and they'll probably have better air conditioning in my apartment.
Why doesn't he just realize he's not president? There are people out there who actually believe he's going to be president in August.
You mean he's not president?
No. No, but there are
Well,
people that
yeah.
actually believe he's going to be president again in August.
Well, it's a long shot. You know what they'll
No,
do?
it's not a long shot. It's not even close to a long shot.
Okay. Well, listen to how
All right.
long the
Look, let me put
shot
it this
this is.
way. Would you bet on it?
Oh no,
No, no,
but
of course not.
but I'm not a betting man. I think betting's for suckers. But
Yeah.
so what's happened is he thinks that if the Republicans take the Congress, that he could be appointed. He doesn't have to be a congressman. He could be appointed Speaker of the House. And then so he'd be third in line for the presidency. So if Biden and Harris elope and go off to another country, maybe Iran, then they'll abandon the White House and he'll be
I see.
president. Now that's a stretch,
That is a stretch.
but
To begin with, you have to assume that if he became a congressman, they'd immediately make him Speaker of the House.
he doesn't have to be a congressman to be Speaker of the House.
Oh, really?
He could be Donald Trump.
Oh, really? Okay.
Regular guy.
Well, then I guess
Yeah.
there is a chance. God, I guess I was wrong. I think
Yeah,
I'll go
you-
bet on
You
him.
better look out.
I'll go.
Trump's coming.
Yeah, Trump's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now the other thing is, your New York AG, Attorney General, for two years has been saying, "I'm going to get Trump." We're going after him. People are saying Trump's going to jail. Well,
no, he hasn't said that.
I guess that's not going to happen.
He hasn't said that.
It's close enough.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't.
Everybody else has said it because they said the New York AG has got shit on Trump, and so therefore Trump is going to he's going to be in orange slacks to match his hair, or orange jumpsuit.
Here's what it's all about. Boy, what's happening? Hold on a second. Let me just get rid of that. And let me see. There, we cleared it up. Good.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, where was I?
Trump.
Oh, Trump.
and-
Oh, no, they have never been in this particular case. The AG's case has never been against Trump personally.
They got the one guy.
No, it's been against the corporation and that they had malfeasance in the corporation. Now they have said they may have other stuff about Trump, but they will reveal that later.
Well, they have something against this Weisenberger or whatever his name is.
It's a question of it that they want to charge the Trump organization for
Right.
malfeasance of
Well,
running
all
their
they got-
business.
Right now, all they got is this Weisenberger, and he was taking some apartments, free
But
car.
that has nothing to do with the case. The case is
That's
that the
their-
corporation as a whole filed bad tax returns, that they did a lot of things that were not on the cute. What's the word we're
it
looking?
wasn't correct.
It wasn't correct. They're going after the company right now. That's what the AG is doing. Now, he hasn't ruled out, he said, we haven't ruled out going after Trump himself, but that's not on the table right now, and that's exactly what he told Trump's lawyer, who then ran off to the press and said, oh, Trump's off the hook. Well,
And I
his
see
company's
that.
not off the hook, and the AG said that he wasn't necessarily throwing out the idea that later on down the line they're not going to charge Trump with something.
Well, right now, all of those Trump haters that thought that Trump was going to jail, it doesn't look too good.
Well, I don't sit around all day hoping this guy will go to jail. It's just not in my. I got better things to do with my life. Okay.
gotta read.
And I get a little tired when I turn on MSNBC and they're always going, "Oh, good, oh, good. The AG's doing this and doing that, and oh, look, it looks like they're going to throw Giuliani in jail." And oh, good. Well, I'm sorry. It's sad that these people have come to this point in their life where they have done such bad things, okay, that maybe they're going to wind up in jail. I don't want anybody to wind up in jail, but if they deserve it, I suppose they deserve it.
Yeah.
But they're certainly not going to get, when somebody gets, some guy sells marijuana, gets 20 years. That used to be the case, right? Yeah.
I had a friend.
Yeah. And
He was 60 years
Giuliani's never going to get 20 years, even if they find him guilty of something, you
Yeah.
know?
I,
Uh,
I I had a friend that spent 8 years at Attica for about a half a pound of marijuana.
really.
Yeah.
Did you feel that, by the way, as long as we're talking about meting out of justice, how do you feel about the resolution of the Derek Chauvin situation? Do you think that was a fair?
Well, was it supposed to be 12 years? Is the thing? But this judge felt that between 20 and 25 was the deal, so he just picked it down the middle at 22.5.
And he'll probably be out in what, 12 years, I guess?
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be an appeal.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be an appeal, but who's going to say if that appeal is going to work?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I just wondered if you thought that it was a just verdict. I mean, a just sentence.
I don't understand what Chauvin did, why he stood on the guy's
Well,
neck.
no, that we none of us can understand, especially why he was doing it with great glee, I might add, while people were shooting with their cameras.
You know,
In fact, don't the police know that people do have almost everybody has a video camera now?
Absolutely. You know, they expect to be filmed or videoed. But, you know, I just don't understand what was going through the guy's head. His hand was in his pocket, and he's on this guy's neck.
Well, he supposedly has had several things against him over the years of this kind of behavior.
Well, you could talk. You hook him up. You throw him in the back of the car.
Look, you know, you've known cops like this, right? Admit it.
Oh, actually, I haven't.
You've known cops like Chauvin who
No,
were just a little bit. They got a Wyatt Earp thing going, you know.
I say to you, those guys wouldn't last through probation. You know, I was in a department with up to 180 sworn. I think the max we had was maybe 150. So it wasn't the biggest department in the world. You know, you got San Francisco has like 800. So, you know, but those 150, I never saw any of that. You know, there was cop humor where they would, you know, go have drinks after a tough day and and tell jokes because they just had to unwind before they went home to their families. It's called church. And they used to just, you know, go out, and I'm not a beer drinker and I'm not a drinker, so I never really fit in with those guys. But you know, it's that's what they did, and just to unwind. But I never saw anybody in 20 years overreact like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to a person, they remain professional, but they would vent afterwards. And if you heard the venting, but venting is one thing, and standing on
if you got your way of blowing off steam, and it's not you're not taking it out on people, I think that's fine with me. You know.
Yeah, and you know, it's the kind of humor that that I'm accustomed to, and you know, people would say, "Oh, you know, that's terrible," but you know, you do those things.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, how's your prostate? Have you gotten your test lately, or?
No, I have to go in for a test. It's time.
Yeah, it's time to do it. Yeah, I kept sitting there waiting for this surgeon to have me go get one, and I wrote him and he didn't write back, and so finally I wrote his nurse and I got a reaction, and it was, well, you could come in to see us or you could go to your urologist. Well, you know, it's been at least 7-8 months since I had my last PSA test, and which is something, folks, that you have to get when you have had prostate cancer.
Yeah, you got to monitor.
Yeah, you got to monitor it, and I did monitor it, and so I finally wrote my urologist, and I said, I haven't heard from this guy. I need a test. He says, forget about him. You don't ever have to have anything to do with him ever again. Just come see me. I will give you a test, and we'll get it the next day, and you'll know what it is. And as it turned out, There was no. They couldn't. He couldn't find the test did not show any PSA.
Well, I am very happy for you. You know what I did?
Yeah.
I joined a gym, and this gym is known as the strongest gym in the area. There, I have never been worked so hard. They have this sled, and you got to push it in the parking lot, and as many times as you can from one side of the building to the other, and it's 150, 200 feet. And they're not putting the heaviest weight on.
Wait a minute. Wait. You pay for this?
Oh yeah. Oh, it's
I never could figure out why you have to pay to get tortured.
The torture was so bad. Day one, I pushed the thing, and I'm supposed to go at least twice. Other people are doing it 6 times. I push it. I get once.
Mm-hmm.
I get to the end of the parking lot, and I'm dizzy. And he says, "You can't sit down. If you sit down, you'll throw up." So I go back, and he's showing me some other exercise with these ropes that you do like this.
Oh yeah.
And I could barely stand up. And I said, "Look, if I can't sit down, can I lay down?"
Why don't you go to the pussy gym? Okay.
Well, this is great. I have never been so happy. I start at 5:30 a.m. on Mondays and Thursdays, and 9 a.m. on Saturdays.
Yeah.
And it's an hour and a half.
Well, I'm happy for you, but we've run out of time here.
Yeah. Well, I may have a heart attack before the next show. It's so
okay. Well, I mean, I how much do you pay for this gym?
$350 a month.
$350 a month to go in and get tortured. Well, bravo for you. Bravo for you.
It's called Diablo Barbell.
No, it's called Do You Have Fuck You Money? That's what it's called. Anyway.
Well, all right.
Hey, it's good talking to you, my friend.
Same here.
We'll talk to you next time.
Great show.
Bye-bye. Okay. Let me see here. I gotta get my camera here. Oh, here we go. Do that. There we go. By the way, here's something I did. Maybe be interested. I want to know what you feel. I have different backgrounds now, and I'm thinking of going to another one for the kind of the New York City background. Here's no, that's not what I want. No, here's wait a minute. Hold on a second. I got to find my camera. There we go. So anyway, let me do this. So here's a new background. How that you like that one? Just let me know at some point. That's number 1. That's candidate. First, we got the original one, and that's candidate number 1. And here comes candidate number 2. Okay. Okay. So which one of those do you like? Either one, the original one, or 1 or 2. You can just kind of let me know. So far, that looks to be okay. But. That's again. It's moving because if you look, I think the cars are moving on the bridge. So, anyway, let me go back to my original. Okay, this is the one we use. Oops, this is the one we use all the time. Okay, here we go. There we go. Different background. Anyway, let me. There are only 3 people waiting tonight. Well, fuck it. If we don't get too many, I'll just turn the show off early. That's always possible. Let me see here. Let me let them in. Okay, here they come. They're jumping in, and okay, we got Jeff, and we got Charlie Wallace, and we got Alan. Hi guys, how are you this evening?
Hi.
Huh?
I was watching Phil, and you cut him off.
You're awfully low tonight.
Mike?
Yeah. How about you, Charlie? Talk to me.
Oh, I'm doing good.
I guess maybe I just have to turn this up more.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I just set mine at medium.
Well, I just moved it up. Just moved it up.
I heard you fine while you were talking to Phil.
Mm-hmm. But that's that. But well, here comes Josh. Ooh, Josh Wheeler on a Tuesday, and here comes John Larkin. Josh, what are you doing here on a Tuesday? Usually you're working and you can't do it, and so what do we owe the pleasure?
Well, I'm here tonight. I'm off
now for 2 weeks, but we're not going to leave until the morning now. I actually ended up taking off a day earlier.
Mm-hmm.
We had so much to do. By the time I get everything done, we couldn't have left town until like 6:37 in the evening.
Yeah. How long are you going to stay out on the road?
So, probably about 9 or 10 days.
So I won't see you on Saturday, I guess.
No, probably not this week. No,
Right.
but I think the next one will be okay because we really never come home like Sundays or whatever. That I really hate coming home.
You like to come home and have a
Yeah.
day or so home before
Yeah,
you go back.
I can't come home like Sunday and then have to go to work Monday. I mean, it's just especially when we've been gone for
Yeah.
like 10 days.
Oh, good. Have a nice.
No, I think we'll be good for the next one, but yeah,
have a
probably,
nice vacation. And hello to
Yeah,
John.
hopefully going out west.
Yeah. Hello to John Larkin. How are you, John?
I found out today, I was literally born a mile away from that disaster in Miami.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah,
Really?
crazy. I don't ever remember being back in Miami my whole life because, I grew up in California in the Bay Area.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let me just check one thing here. Folks, you're going to see a little bit of work going on here. I just want to make sure that my audio here is okay.
I hear you fine.
Oh, here we go. There we go.
Okay.
There we go. Talk to me, folks.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's much better.
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
All right.
All right. It had to do with that. Okay.
Oh.
And everybody saw what I had to do, the magic I had to perform here.
Actually, on Zoom, I can't see what you're doing. I can go to YouTube and watch the rebroadcast or whatever and see what you do.
Yeah. Well, anyway. So how are you doing, Charlie? How's everything in Texas?
It's doing pretty good. It's been raining the last couple of days, so it's been cooler.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we're right now. It is 11:11, and the temperature in New York City is 90 degrees.
Jeez.
Nice. Oh, that sounds so nice.
Yeah. It's and it's funny because it wasn't all that humid during the day. It's getting humid now. How's it up in Connecticut, Jeff?
I'm in Georgia.
Oh, you're in Georgia. How is it in Georgia?
And you cannot believe it's calm here. I mean, as far as the temperature goes,
Yeah.
it's only 80 something or other,
Yeah.
and it's not that moist.
Wow.
But as hot as it might get, if you were standing in line to vote, I couldn't give you a glass of water.
That's at
So you
least not
better
this
get back
year.
from Georgia real soon.
Uh,
Supposedly, we have some kind of clusterfuck going on with our election here in New York.
Oh.
This guy won, looked like he won. What we had this strange thing you did. Okay,
Ranked choice.
you voted for who you wanted, and then you put in who your second choice was, and who your third choice was, and who your fourth choice was, and who your fifth choice was. And then if nobody got 50%, they would then start doing a whole thing of like so-and-so got so many votes and so-and-so got so many second votes. And eventually, the winner might not be the person who initially looked like they won because they were at the top of the list. And supposedly, it's so bad, they're thinking of throwing out the whole damn election. It's gotten a little on the skeezy side.
Was number 5 Trump or something?
Yeah, Trump was number 5. I voted for him. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was a great president. You know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but I don't understand this tiered voting deal. It doesn't make much sense to me.
Ranked choice voting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that 10 years ago.
Well, you have it in California, don't you?
San Francisco.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
And so you go in, you vote for what? Do they decide whether if it's 5 people or 4
You
people?
don't have to vote for all,
Oh, you
all
only
of
have to vote for one.
Yeah, but then if your guy doesn't win, your first choice doesn't win, none of your second choices would go.
Yeah.
So what it is, whoever gets on the first round, whoever gets the lowest amount of votes, he gets knocked off, and then they take all the, they distribute all of his votes to everybody else.
Oh boy, yeah. Well, that's what happened here, and it looks like it didn't work or something. Maybe I can find it here.
It's
If there's
slow.
some
It takes a
story.
while to count.
Well, yeah, but New York, no, in
Are they doing a
NYC.
recount in Arizona for you?
Oh yeah, right. That's
Hmm.
NYC. What is it? I'm looking for NYC election. Let's say, and let's see what comes up here. Here it is. New York Post. New York City mayoral primary race thrown into chaos as the Board of Elections appears to botch vote count. That's the New York Post. The Channel 2 says mayoral race, Board of Elections says test ballots were counted with, let me see here. Test ballots were counted with actual ballots as part of ranked choice voting. Just so many stories about this, and nobody's saying who won. Oh, here we go. New York Times, the New York mayor's race in chaos after election board pulls back results. That's the story I cared about. Yeah, they counted 135,000 test ballots, and it looks like it's a problem because what's his name? Eric Adams, who is a former borough president and former policeman, ran first in the voting, but he didn't have a majority. And now in the recounting, he's starting to lose, and they're going crazy. And over on the Republican side, they nominated Curtis Sliwa. Do you know who Curtis Sliwa is?
Yep.
Well, I do, because Curtis, oddly enough, after I tell you the story, you're going to say, how's that? Curtis Sliwa is a fan of mine. Really. He was, I did his radio show a while back. Wow, he says, you were always my favorite. I loved you as a talk show host. And I'm going, Curtis, such a reactionary on the right. How can you even find me interesting,
Really?
But he started a thing called the
Guardian Angels.
Guardian Angels. Thank you very much. And my mind is not what it used to be. The Guardian Angels, and this was a group of, I'd call them vigilantes.
Yeah.
Who took it upon themselves to go into neighborhoods and protect the neighborhoods, in spite of the fact the police told them don't. Right? And now he decided he would run for mayor after all this time, and he won the nomination. So the Republicans in this state are crazy too. They don't run somebody who they think can win. They run some reactionary they know is going to lose. Republicans are the dumbest people in the world, and I don't understand why they're so good with money. So. Well, that's it for tonight. Thank you all. I really enjoyed it.
Did you hear they bioengineered a cat with 2 vaginas?
Is there a joke? Is there a punchline to this?
Yeah, they're calling it Snatches.
So what's the
Snatches.
punchline, John?
They're calling it Snatches.
We heard you. What's the punchline? You can see how many people are laughing.
You know what it is? I heard some great jokes the other day when I was watching comedians in cars getting coffee. Okay? And I thought, I got to remember that one so I can tell it on the show. I can't remember what joke it was. I never was able to remember jokes. I could tell them maybe once if I heard them the night before, and then I just forgot them completely. Or I would do them and I'd get halfway through and forget what the punchline was. And you got to remember the punchline.
You know how you can tell a Polish firing squad? They're all standing in a circle.
I happen to have some Pole in me, and I take great umbrage at that.
Okay, we'll go to Jew jokes then.
Oh, yeah, Jew jokes are okay. Like, for instance, 2 Jews walk into a bar, and they buy it.
That's cute. That's cute.
Yeah.
You know how copper wire was invented?
How was copper wire invented?
Two Jews fighting over a penny. I actually got you to laugh.
Why is it? Why is it though? You know, this is the one thing that pisses me off about Jack Bishop. Okay, I'll tune him in, and whenever he pulls a joke about me, it has something to do with cheapness. And he knows me. I was never cheap. I'd be very wealthy today if I was that cheap. I wasn't cheap. But he always does cheap jokes because I'm Jewish. Is there something wrong with that? You know.
Yeah.
It couldn't hurt.
Hmm? What'd you say?
I said it couldn't hurt.
It couldn't hurt. What? To be upset by it?
Why don't
Yeah, I
you cut off the part of his show that anything that says Jew in it doesn't get through.
Well,
Demonetize him.
Monetize, that's the thing.
Demonetize him.
I don't want to have to pay to do it.
What's that?
I don't want to have to pay to do it.
No.
Pay somebody to do
He'll make a joke of that later on tonight.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are we apparently never going to start fixing roads and bridges because we can't find a way to fix every single other thing that's wrong with the entire world in the
What
same
it looks like.
bill?
You know what's interesting is that Republicans don't even want to fix stuff.
No, they're.
I mean, I
they
blame
don't-
this one. I mean, yeah, right, but I mean, look, if the Democrats wanted to fix roads and bridges, they could fix roads and bridges.
You know something?
They apparently don't want to because they got too many members of their caucus saying, "I'll only vote to fix roads and bridges if you give me a bunch of other stuff that I want."
Oh, jeez.
I mean, and then the more that leaks out and the more that situation develops, then Republicans will obviously begin to play their fucking games and muddle that all up. But I mean, they have an agreement and then they didn't have an agreement. And then now they say, it might take a couple of more months. I mean,
I just think, yeah.
Look, it's time that Congress of both parties, okay, but let's start right now with the here and now. I don't want to care about who did it before and they did this. I don't care. This is today.
Mm-hmm.
If they want to do things, they need to do them in bills that fix those issues. No one is saying that we don't need to support this or do that. I'm just saying, I mean, they literally cannot pass an infrastructure bill to do things that need done because in that same package, we can't get support to American families and workers who need, I mean, all that stuff's important too, but make a list of the things that you want to fix and start fixing them.
Why can't we
start fixing them?
Why can't
or
we?
You're not ever going to fix anything.
Why can't we just pass a bill and not tag anything onto it?
Right.
I
mean, you can't do that right now. And again, I don't want to hear about, well, the Republicans did it before. I'm sorry. The reason you can't do it right now
yeah,
is because of the Speaker of the House and the Majority Leader in the Senate. I mean, they're the ones who aren't getting it done or who won't demand that it get done that way.
But
I mean,
here's the thing that I wonder is these people are always tacking stuff on to every bill. I've been told many times when a bill passed, well, you know what else was in that bill? And it was like to buy fly paper for Washington, D.C. or some weird thing. And the only reason it got passed is because they tacked this. What do they call it? Isn't there a term for that when they
Amendments.
Amendments? Yeah. But I mean, it's just
yeah, I mean, right. They they would have earmark spending, and you can tack on an amendment, and then they get special projects, pork, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, literally, they can't find a way to pay to replace the Brit Spence Bridge that crosses the Ohio River from Cincinnati to Kentucky that, has basically been deemed, ready to fall down for 20 years. And it's like the third or fourth highest traffic bridge in the entire nation.
And one of
I
these
mean,
days,
they can't pass a
one-
bill to replace things like that because AOC isn't happy that we're not going to get the Green New Deal. I mean, again, important thing. No one is arguing that, at least I'm not. Okay, but then that's a whole other thing. I mean, we'll fix that after we fix this.
Well, I think that what we need to have, these politicians need to have, are priorities. You know, and say, hey, you know, we do need the Green New Deal, but fixing a bridge before it collapses comes first before that.
I mean, logic should tell you that the larger you make a bill and the more items that you place in it,
right,
the more complicated it becomes. So therefore, the more difficult it will become to pass it, and the easier it will be for your opponents to trash it. I mean, you know, already instead of spending $900 billion on infrastructure, which a lot of people, oh, yeah, that sounds good, right? They do this, and this, and then all of a sudden, Republicans are allowed to run around saying, "Jesus Christ, they want to spend $2 trillion fucking dollars." Last week they already spent $2 trillion. I mean, they just make it easy. I mean, Democrats make it easy for Republicans to go on Meet the Press and fucking say shit like that.
Right.
And there are a lot of people that don't, you know, follow this stuff to the letter who are like, man, geez, you know, $2 trillion for this, that, and you know, it sounds terrible. As opposed to, let's spend $800 billion and go around and be able to simply name the things that we're going to do.
Yeah.
We're going to get a new Brent Spence Bridge for the 20 million people that live in that area. And then we're going to go repave that 100-mile stretch of I-5 in California that's all fucked up and has been for, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But,
Charlie has his hand up. Charlie?
Yeah, the problem is you can't get 60 votes in the Senate unless you throw in all these extra things in order to bribe somebody to vote for your bill. That's why the bills get so big and complicated.
I mean, historically,
you ought to just fix one thing at a time.
Yeah, I mean, right. I mean, yeah. I mean, if we did this in our personal lives, we'd be a disaster. I mean,
we'd be out on the street.
I'm not going to replace my roof because at the same time, I also can't buy a new car, go on vacation, pave my driveway, and get all my fucking lawn tore up and get some new turf. If I can't have all that, fuck, I'm not doing it. I mean, no one would do that.
No.
But that's what they're all doing. Yeah. And then they're letting their neighbor come over and tell them what they think you should do. Oh, okay, I'll do that then. I wouldn't want to piss you off.
By the way, Jeff had his hand up. Jeff?
Yeah, you know, I used to develop a lot of products and projects. And I always had a simple strategy. You kind of want to break things by phases. And the simple one, the first phase is so simple. It's like, you know, we're going to start on Tuesday and we're going to put 3 people on it. You know, just simple little crap. And it doesn't matter where it is or where it is. Well, you know, and if you're talking about bridges, you say, all right, and we're going to work on the big worst 3 bridges right now and see what we can learn from them. And then you come up with another phase, which had some concepts like, what are you going to do? What's the budget? What's it going to take? And you take it in smaller increments. That is so easy to manage stuff that way. And then you start getting into the real stuff where you're politically putting a lot of money in. And people have to make a more financial decision. And, you know, and there's steps after that. But we don't seem to do any of that kind of shit.
Yeah, well, we're idiots. We're idiots.
Yeah.
By the way,
well, I mean, look, I'm just saying that in a lot of ways, you know, you could sit here and you could say it's been how many months since the election? It's been 6 months, whatever. And, you know, What has the party in power? What have they done? I mean, I get they passed the COVID relief bill or whatever. I mean, so okay, that's a good accomplishment, which was for a crisis. But like, what have you done for the everyday regular agenda of problems that existed before that crisis? Good job. You came in, you took a hold of the crisis, you passed this, that, and the other, money, vaccinations, all that is fucking great. Okay. But now that is, going away, or under control or whatever, we still have problems that we had before that. So what are you going to do about them? How are you going to get yourself reelected once the crisis goes away?
Yeah.
And if I had to guess, they're probably not. I mean, because of shit like this. Because I sat here and said, months ago, it's great that they're going to win and everything. And, I get it, but you're going to run the same old fucking people up there that you did the last couple times, and you're probably going to get the same result, which is 2 years of fucking jacking off and then looking like an idiot, and then you're going to give it right back. And that's probably what's going to happen, because you got a schmuck for a fucking majority leader, and you still running Nancy Pelosi as Speaker of the House. I mean, I drive home and I listen to them fucking arguing about their fucking infrastructure bill and it's important this, and this. And I'm thinking, these motherfuckers piss me off so bad. They make me want to fucking vote for Republicans sometimes. I mean, that's pretty fucking bad. Like, it's just like, I just fucking turn it off. I don't even want to listen to any of them motherfuckers talk. It's like, might as well just fucking vote for a fucking white guy with a fucking stick up his ass. At least he fucking comes out and tells you what he fucking thinks. I mean, it's just, I don't get it. I mean, fix some shit.
And he has a stick.
So they did pass the, they have an agreement on the infrastructure bill. It's just that it's not enough. So they're going to do a reconciliation bill, but the Republicans are going to filibuster both bills because they know that they don't want to see the spending of the reconciliation bill. So they're going to filibuster both of them. So we're stuck.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is. We got to get rid of the filibuster.
Exactly.
That's fine, but I just don't. I'm not going to blame the filibuster on something that's existed for forever. On the fact that they can't do their fucking jobs. I mean, that's just.
There's nothing they can do. You can't get rid of the filibuster.
There's a lot of things they can do. They can fucking find a way to get it done. I mean, look, man. People that put these guys back in, it's just, you guys are like this sports team with this coach that's if we just give him a few more players, and I think eventually he'll start winning. And you've been saying that for like 10 years. And it's like, when the fuck are you going to move on from this? I mean, them's the rules. Everyone else seems to get shit done when they want to. I mean, Republican Party doesn't seem to have any of these fucking problems getting shit done when they want to get shit done. I mean, fix some shit. Just get it fixed. I mean,
what did the Republicans ever fucking fix? They haven't fixed anything in 50 years.
Yeah.
I didn't say I thought they fixed it. I'm telling you, they thought they fixed it. When they want to do something to get something taken care of, they seem to be able to do it many times. In their minds, they fixed it. Just because you and I don't think they fixed it doesn't mean they didn't accomplish goals that they set out to do. I mean, I don't necessarily think those things were good either, right? But they get them done. I mean,
they got rid of the filibuster for them. That's how they got their tax bill passed. That's how they got the Supreme Court nominees. They killed the filibuster for them.
Jack's got his hand up. Hi, Jack.
Hey, good to be here. Just wanted to jump in here real quick. I like what Josh is saying, except for one thing. Democrats are pussies.
Yeah.
Democrats are pussies. Let me repeat that one more time. Democrats are pussies. Now, if there was some...
Did you just learn that, Jack?
No, I'm just reiterating what you taught me years ago.
Yeah.
If the Democrats want to do something, what they need to do is say to the sergeant at arms in the House, lock the goddamn doors. Nobody's leaving. We're here till hell freezes over until we get these Republicans to get in line, and nobody gets to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, but you also, but you also got to get the Democrats in line. You said the Democrats are pussies. They're also assholes too.
Well, the thing is, politicians are assholes. I'm as far to the left as you've ever known me to be, right? I think I'm further to the left than you were when we first met. Yeah. And you got to be willing to say to people, you're out of the party. Yeah. You're not getting any money from us. I don't give a damn if a green monkey runs, unless you're in line, you're not getting any support. Mm-hmm. Case closed. Go run as an independent. Most people unfortunately are pretty satisfied with what they get as a representative. It's not because we don't vote for
Listen,
anybody.
I got to tell you something though, Jack, and then I'll go to you, Alan. I just got through voting here in New York. I got to tell you, I didn't know that much about the people who were running. I knew who was running for mayor, but then when it came to like borough president or things like that, the lower we got,
it's DA,
I didn't know who was what. And I'm the kind of person...
It's meant to be!
What are you screaming? Who are you screaming at? Kathleen?
Go!
What's going on there, Kathleen?
My wife's got aggression in it tonight.
Can you hear me, Kathleen?
I'm happy.
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Yeah, what was that all about?
I'm tired of you all. All you do is argue. You don't give anybody a chance to speak, and I'm tired of it. I give up.
Well, wait a minute. I'll explain yourself. So you haven't tried to jump in here.
Every time I do, Dad, I'm good.
But all you had to do was raise your hand, and I would have recognized you.
No. Anytime anybody says anything, if someone doesn't agree with it, everybody argues. That's why this world is so fucked up. It has nothing to do with race, ethnicity, or nothing. It's the fact that none of us will listen to each other. Do you get that?
Well, how are we not listening to each other?
You're listening right now to Kathleen's father. You know, this you need to carry this only to the point where it gets to this point, and then at some point in time you need to get off of it and either grow up or do something. But I tell you, at you guys' age, knock this shit off. And that's coming from
listen.
That's coming from a full bird colonel, asshole. So you take that to the bank.
Listen. Shh.
Nobody asked you to listen. You can log off anytime.
Listen to me. So one person has a opinion. If they don't agree with it, people start flipping out. I mean, what was it? I will, Dad. Listen.
I'm into the future.
I will, Dad. I will. Last Tuesday, people were arguing with everybody. Okay, listen, when I worked at UPS, we had gangs. I mean, Norteños, Serranos, Crips, and Bloods. Mm-hmm. So when they got into it, for fear that they would start killing each other, I would sit down with them, but I put rules. I said, listen, one person speaks and one person speaks only. If you don't agree with their opinion, let them speak.
So you say you want a shot clock?
Like yeah, but I think what she's trying to say is you don't hear yourselves talk sometimes, and you overtalk people without realizing it.
Yeah, you guys talk over each other, and nobody listens to anybody's
Wait a minute, but I have to. Nobody here was yelling at anybody tonight.
But
the other night, I agree with you. I agree with you. Last Tuesday was so bad, I took Wednesday off.
Yeah, but you don't realize why, Alex.
Shut up, Tony, because you're the one who told me to go.
That's exactly
what I'm talking about.
No, you know why I'm telling him to shut up is because he's the one that was really nasty.
You're blaming me again.
No,
you're not.
No. Are you going to listen
to
me?
You're blaming me again.
Are you going to listen to me, Tony?
Tony, let him talk. Let him finish the sentence.
Jeez. You told me to go fuck myself.
You know why?
Why?
Because how many times I've tried to talk on the show, and everybody's interrupted me numerous times, but I had class and never said anything. Sometimes I was talking on the show sometimes, and you just cut me off.
Why do you tell me to go
just
fuck
don't realize
myself?
it.
Why
But
do you
I
tell
never,
me?
you're not
Why
letting
do
me
you
talk.
tell me to go?
You're not letting me talk.
No, but
there we
Kathleen,
go again.
here's exactly what I'm talking
But
about.
there we go again.
Kathleen, here's exactly what we were talking about. You know.
But I'm trying to explain myself. I've never argued with anybody. So
Oh,
Charlie, say
really?
what you
What are you
want.
doing right
I never
now?
argued with
What are
anybody,
you
but there
doing
was
right
numerous times.
What are you
Here
doing?
we go again.
What are you doing right now?
Because I'm trying to talk without getting interrupted.
Well, go ahead and talk. I will leave the room.
I'm going to start a
talk.
30.
I can't
I'm
finish anything
going
half
to
the
start
time.
a
Sometimes
30
you say, I'm not mad, but this is what happens.
right now. Let Tony talk for 30
And
seconds.
we just
Alex,
lost
you
Kathleen.
answer.
And you just lost Kathleen.
Because that's why she's mad, Alex.
No,
Jack,
she's
you
mad.
know what?
She's mad because what happened last Tuesday
No,
was
but
in
she's
big
mad that
part.
she got
Wait a minute, let me
interrupted
finish. In large part was because of you, and the reason I wasn't on Wednesday was because of you.
God. Can I talk?
Yeah, I'm leaving the room.
Jack,
Right here.
I was joking last week, but I'm going to tell you why. My personal opinion. There was times when I've talked on the show, and I was cut off numerous times. I didn't care. I never said anything. And I'm not going to mention names off air, but when other people keep interrupting, that's what I think Kathleen is mad about. And I've gotten interrupted and taken a backseat when I was in the middle of points or trying to get some. I don't want to start any trouble with her, but then the minute, that's what she's saying. When people get cut off over and over again, it's not my fault. Why? Because I said something, but it's almost like that's what she's saying. Maybe you just don't want to hear somebody else's point of view. I didn't tell her to
Has
say
he
that.
been talking ever since I left?
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Huh? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Have you gotten it out of your system, Tony?
I didn't get nothing out of my system. I'm not mad.
I am.
Good. All right, Alex, what are you mad about?
I'm mad at the fact that the other night he told me to go fuck myself.
Well, it's a good thing he didn't say that to me because I'd have told him the best piece of ass he ever had.
Yeah. And I told Jack, I've taken many shots on this show. Have you ever seen me ever get nasty?
And because of your screaming, you chased away Kathleen. I was trying to
No,
calm
I
her down.
didn't.
Will you shut up a second? Will you fucking shut up?
But you're blaming me for
Will
something
you
that's
shut
not
up?
true.
Do I have to hang up on you?
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll do that. Because a lot of people have been requesting on the line here that I do exactly what I'm going to do.
You know, Alex, you said something once I'll never forget. No talk show, no interview program has ever really solved a problem.
No.
Kathleen did say something very, very important. She said when this situation arose with factions on her job, she would say, you talk for a while, you talk for a while, and you talk for a while. Now, that's not reality. That's nice. That's being in therapy, you know. Lord knows you and I have done enough of that over the years, haven't we? But look, people, the great thing about GabNet, and I give Alex full credit for this because he came up with the idea, and when people heard about me doing this thing, said, you got your goddamn mind, because it's like getting into a ring with a bunch of lions. And you guys are lions, and that's what makes this exciting. This is what makes this thing different than any other informative kind of thing done on the internet or anywhere else.
Well, I'm surprised a little bit at Kathleen because I don't know what she was so overly upset about, and her father was overly upset about. Did I miss something here?
You
Yeah, I
must have
didn't
missed
understand.
something because I didn't see it either.
I never met that guy before.
Well, I met her father. He's a very nice guy. He's a
He
wonderful
doesn't
guy.
like you, John.
But
He resorted to name calling right away.
yeah, that whole call was very strange, you know, in that respect. But you know, I mean, she called up to say, well, I felt that she felt exactly as I felt about Tuesday's show. That's why I didn't do the show on Wednesday. I was
You
so
did the
upset
show
by
on
what
On
Yeah,
Thursday.
get your days straight. You're okay, but you actually Tuesday was Phil, Wednesday was Tony.
Wednesday was when Tony.
It was Tony. Okay, then it was
So
Thursday.
Thursday was the
Yeah,
day you
but I
did.
took the
That's
day off
minor.
because I just went that, you know, and after this tonight, I may take the whole goddamn week off. You know, I mean, I was so upset by that and by Tony telling me to go fuck myself. You know, I think I've been very, very nice to him. I kid him a lot, you know.
I think
we
so.
have fun, but I've been very nice to him. And then tonight, in fact, I walked away here, and I come back, and he's still yelling. Did any of you get a chance to say anything to him?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Yes.
Said a word.
Yeah, Charlie.
That's one thing I wanted to point out is that the day he told you to go fuck yourself, he talked for 15 straight minutes and nobody got a word in edgewise. Tony was the only one that opened his mouth for the first 15 minutes of the show. So, and then he wouldn't let you finish 5 words consecutively.
Yeah. Yeah.
You never got to finish a whole sentence. He's the one that's interrupting people.
Right. Right.
Well, most of us can't see our own faults. Lord knows that's true with me. But
I'm surprised that Kathleen came on upset about what happened last week.
I don't know what, quite frankly, I don't know why she started really crying. You know, what was going on here, what was going on here was a lot of give and take in a discussion, but I don't think there was anything nasty going on.
Oh, John was explaining some stuff and we were listening.
Yeah. You know, the only thing I said that might have set her off is I said to Jack, I said, we learned that a long time ago, you know,
Yeah.
and that was about it. And you weren't upset by anything I said, were you, Jack?
I don't remember what the hell you said.
Yeah. So, you know, I don't understand what was bothering her, and that her father was somehow involved in it. I agree. What went down last Wednesday, I think it was terrible. It was horrible.
Yeah.
And if she wants to feel bad about that, fine. But this crowd tonight was fairly decent. Even Tony wasn't saying anything, you know.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, well, he really didn't say much last Wednesday either for the first couple minutes while the steam was building up.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You
But
know?
it's unfortunate.
Well, maybe it's kind of like with my grandpa. He said he could talk bad about my grandma, but nobody else better.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I guess.
And we're always protective of the ones that we are closest to and the ones that we love, except in my family's house where if my mother didn't call me, you little son of a bitch, once a day, I thought she didn't
the
love
other
me.
thing I would have to say to Kathleen, if she were here, was please don't take this show that seriously, that it brings
Really?
you to tears. I mean, this is an entertainment of sorts, and it is not meant to do that, you know.
I would have loved to hear
Josh, how did you feel about what just happened?
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know, you know, if I did something to upset them or whatever.
No.
I mean, I don't know. I
No,
mean,
you were being very professorial in your discussion.
I don't mind having like go at it with other people type of thing, whatever. I mean, I don't mind someone thinking it's because of the filibuster, but I think that's a tired excuse or what. I mean, so
I don't think anybody here, and I have to disagree with Kathleen's father. I don't even know what his gripe was with what was going on here.
Well, he sure turned into a jerk quickly.
Well,
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you know, but like,
but don't
when
call
we
him,
have
don't
that
call him
kind of
names.
stuff, I mean, I typically will say what I, you know, want to, and then be involved in a back and forth for a few minutes, and then I'll usually step to the side for 10, 15 minutes at a time or whatever. That's my usual thing or whatever. I mean, I know that there are some people that when we talk about stuff like that, they don't like the show because they don't like talking about those type of things or whatever. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe one of these days, you know, we talked about this on Saturday before, maybe move to a show once a week or something where all the people who love to talk about what I think would be, you know, silly shit can do it all night long, and then there's a night
Well, we
where
do
it's-
that on Monday afternoons. You know,
Right, so
that show is always very copacetic.
I don't know if
It's
that had
always-
anything to do with. I mean, I don't know.
I just don't know what her. What is that?
Okay.
I mean, I don't think any of it was contentious. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, look, I used to defend Phil when people would get personal with him.
Yeah.
No, look, someone call up here and say Phil was fat or something. I used to be like, look, man, I'm not I'm not doing that. Fuck
Yeah,
that.
Alan?
I don't think John did anything wrong. I think we were all being civil like we usually are, with the exception of one person last week, on Wednesday. I think that was out of line. He had no right to be calling you a fuck off and all that. It's your show. I mean, we all call in to have a good time, to enjoy ourselves, learn things, stuff like that. I don't think John said anything wrong today. John Wheeler.
I'm trying to figure out what she felt was so contentious
I don't know.
in our
Maybe
discussion.
Maybe last week was really a lot when Tony went off. I don't know, or I don't know what.
I don't know what might else.
I hope she's okay. She's a nice lady.
Well,
I'm sorry her father got involved in this and started with the name calling.
I think you have to accept the fact that some people are more sensitive than other people, depending upon your life.
But I'm failing to understand tonight what she was sensitive about.
Right.
Does anybody know?
No.
I think she just got tired. She just got tired of the discussion, and I don't know. Maybe she just.
No, but she took it too personally, and I can't figure out why. And she did call, I believe, again on Friday, and she was just fine.
She was here.
We had a nice fine show. And then all of a sudden tonight she just started in on this, and I really don't understand where it came from. It came out of a clear blue sky. How about you, Kevin? Did you heard it, right?
I did not. I just came in. I was just a little late because my neighbor is moving away from town, and I stopped by to see that. It was late for the show, and turned it on, and all this stuff was happening. I have no idea what happened. I'm just kind of coming into a storm.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I think a lot of us don't know what happened.
Well, maybe at some point we'll figure it out.
Well, Phil Meyer writes, he says, I think the show was fine. This must have been a holdover from last week.
Yeah,
but
that's what I think
But
too.
she came on Friday, if I'm not mistaken, and it was just fine. I mean, she didn't seem to be upset then. So I don't know what upset her tonight. And of course, she's an old friend. I care about what upset her.
I think we all care about her.
Yeah. So Kathleen, don't be a stranger. But I don't understand it. And as for Tony, come on, Tony. Not right.
Maybe he needs to take a week off.
Maybe he needs to take forever off.
Now, look, he's been a part of the Ramble since the Ramble began. Whatever name.
Anybody who comes on and completely disrupts a show like that, you don't want on.
Unless and tells the host to go get fucked.
Yeah.
And won't let him finish a sentence.
Right.
Well, maybe that's why he never calls me, because
you're lucky. You're lucky. In most cases, I have to say this about Tony. In most cases, he never says anything.
That's true.
Yeah.
He's your Scott Boddicker.
No, but lately he has, and it hasn't been anything that's good. It's him yelling about this, that, and the other thing.
And name calling.
Yeah.
Well, don't forget now what just happened a few weeks ago.
What did happen?
Lost his mom.
Yeah, I know he lost his mom.
Yeah.
That's more than a few weeks ago, though.
Yeah, that was months.
6 months
back
ago.
in February or something.
And he knows I've always been there for him on that, and personally, because I've written him and said stuff to him about it, So I mean, but I just, I don't know what kind of blows my mind is what Kathleen's attitude was tonight and where it was coming from, because we weren't doing anything, I think, that was
nothing like last Tuesday or Wednesday.
No, that's for sure.
Everybody was very copacetic with each other, even Tony at that point.
I think he was just waiting for his moment.
I guess.
Well, all I can say about last week is I went back and listened to the last 15 minutes of the Ramble, thanks to someone suggesting I do it. And I didn't see any reason people got bent out of shape back then. But hey,
yeah, but you listened to the last 20 minutes. The last 20 minutes.
It was the first 15 minutes you were supposed to listen to. Last.
Yeah.
That was Wednesday's show, first 15, because that was all Tony. Nobody else got a word in edgewise.
Right.
All Tony.
Charlie's right. Charlie's right.
Well, let's see. Alan, you're not married.
Thank God, no.
Shirley's not married.
No.
There's somebody else on the panel that's not married. So in my house, if I get 5 minutes to say something in my house, I'm doing pretty damn good.
Yeah. Well, that's marriage.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. Actually,
Alex, you asked Josh a question. Josh was explaining it. We were all listening. I can't see how anybody would get upset by that. We weren't arguing with them.
Jeff
Nothing.
jumped in
And
and
we
said
don't all
something.
think
I think
alike.
John said something, and then Jack called up, and then he was talking about how the Democrats were a bunch of pussies, and I said to him, I'm trying to recreate stuff to see what possibly would have sent her off, and I said to him, I'm surprised you didn't learn that a long time ago, and then you said, well, you taught it to me. You know, and that was about it. There was nothing nasty going on here.
She doesn't like the topic. She doesn't like politics. So I think she was just pissed off that we were talking politics, and
you might be right. You might be right. You know.
But we talk politics a lot on this show.
Yeah. And you know, I mean, if she wants a show that's not politics, the Monday show is one of the nicest kind of
Called
soft.
The Intersection.
Yeah.
No. See, I think the Intersection doesn't talk politics at all anymore, and I'm bored to tears by some of the stuff.
We're all bored to tears.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why I felt we haven't had stuff to talk about here, is because there wasn't, there wasn't.
Now, wait a minute. Did Alan say the Intersection is boring to tears? Did he just say that?
Something like that. Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah. No. But I mean, if Kathleen is listening, you're certainly welcome back here. But I really would like you to explain to me, maybe privately, what it was that set you off feeling that bad. I mean, when you start crying,
got her father
I don't want
involved.
anybody crying on my show. Once they start crying, I know that something wrong happened, and I
Look,
want to know what that was.
Alec, I gotta go, but I believe with this. Remember that great song, "It's Your Party and We'll Cry If We Want to."
Right, exactly. But I would like to know why, because I don't like anybody crying on my show. That's not the reason I do this sort of thing. You know, it's not my desire to make people cry and bring them to tears. So. Please, Kathleen, let me know.
Somebody buy Kevin a cup of coffee.
There may be something else going on in her life right now. I don't know. You know,
Maybe he's already had too much coffee. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think everybody tonight was working rather nicely. You know.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Everything was smooth
until I mentioned what Tony did last Thursday, or Wednesday rather, which
Tony's got to get over that. He was in the wrong. I mean, he had the right to an opinion, but it got out of control.
Well,
telling you to go fuck yourself was just totally wrong on all levels. I mean, come on.
Well, I mean, if
I'm pissed at you, if I'm that pissed at you that I'm gonna tell you to go fuck yourself, I'm gonna disconnect because I don't like the negativity and it's not worth it. I'm just gonna say, look, I can't talk. Goodbye. Pull the plug. Have a nice day. I'll call back on another day.
But I don't know what there was something going on. I don't know, and I don't know why Kathleen's father was there. I mean, none of
He
it.
got
made,
he's typically there every day.
What?
He is typically there, behind her.
Oh, really?
You don't see him, but occasionally she just says, "Oh, Dad, don't listen." Or,
okay.
Especially when you're talking, Jeff.
So she often is getting. He's listening to the show and her show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Kathleen, certainly let me know. I'd like to know what it was.
Well, I hope she's okay. She's a nice lady.
Yeah, and we would like to, we'd like to have you back on the program as always. You're fun. Plus, I'm slowly losing callers here. I lost Robert Natali, and then I lost Tony, and now I've lost perhaps Kathleen. So
Kathleen will come back.
Eventually I'm gonna have to put this show. I'm gonna have to put this show to sleep and come up with a new idea. Anyway,
let's all do this in the nude tomorrow. No, just kidding. That was humor.
We all will, except for you.
Okay, thank God for that.
Anyway, thank you.
An extra wide lens.
Thank you very much, Jeff. We appreciate it. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Josh. Good talking tonight. Good talking points tonight. Have a nice vacation, okay?
Will do.
John Larkin, see you tomorrow night, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow night, Kevin. Nice having all of you here. Give a big wave goodbye, and I'll give a big wave goodbye at you. Okay, there they go, ladies and gentlemen. That's the Citizens Panel for tonight. We'll be putting another one together tomorrow if there are enough people to do it with. We haven't had everybody going to suddenly get put off by doing this show. And Kathleen, if you're listening, please call us again. Let's get this whole thing kind of settled out, or at least write me. Anyway, listen, we're off for another 24 hours or 22 hours. We'll see you again tomorrow night. Same time, same station in life. And in the meantime, as always, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? And by the way, if you haven't gotten a vaccination, what's keeping you from doing it?